All right, joining us now is Maria Segura from A Life Worth Living documentary. Let's talk about this, Maria. Great to see you, first off.
Thanks for having me.
You are so busy and prolific doing every form of art you can possibly imagine. Talk about why you got into this documentary and what it's about.
Why I got into this documentary?
Yes.
Well, I got into this documentary after learning the results of my son's diagnosis.
Okay.
I took a blood screening result. It somehow got lost.
Keep on.
At the lab, and so I had to retake it again.
Okay.
And it was confirmed that my son's diagnosis would be Down syndrome. And I was afraid. I was confused. I did all the research I can on Google, but I realized it didn't really help me. It just made things worse. Some of the options that the doctor gave me was to have an abortion, or give him up for adoption, or keep the baby. And
how early on in your pregnancy did you find out?
That I did not have a lot of time.
Okay.
Because of the fact that they had lost my screening results.
Sure. Wow.
I was on a road trip when that happened, so it was.
So you lost more time.
Yeah, I lost more time. I had about less than 2 weeks to decide.
That's difficult.
And I had to make a decision, and I decided to steer away from researching, steer away from what people say and society says, and I said to myself, you know what? I have to decide for myself. I have to follow what my heart tells me to follow.
Sure.
And after a few days, that's what I decided to do. I fell in love with this baby, really soon. And when you're a pregnant mother and you're hormonal and you have this baby growing inside you and you're so, you're almost 6 months. I mean, I just had to decide, and I decided to keep him, and I'm grateful that I did. I am happy. I feel like Benjamin has always been part of this family.
Yeah.
He's a lovely, beautiful little angel. He's brought a lot of happiness to our lives. And I feel like I'm not the only mother who is going through this now,
No
or
doubt.
who has to endure this, who have been through what I've been through. And I just want to be that mother, that voice to say, hey, you know what? I want to help you out as well. I want you to hear what I have to say, and make your decision from the heart, not from what everybody else says. You make it for yourself, because you might be letting go of a beautiful little baby.
Maria Segura on the Reno Talk Tonight Show, creator of A Life Worth Living documentary, and you have an associated Kickstarter campaign as well. Let's talk about that.
Yes, we have a Kickstarter. We are 46% funded. We've reached over 2,000 through, I think it's 2,300 or 2,800.
Wow.
But we need to reach our goal of 5,000 by the end of July 31st. If we do not reach that goal, we just don't get funded at all.
Right.
It's kind of like one of those things. So in order to reach our goal, my hope is to use those funds for promotion and marketing, for helping pay the film crew. I mean, they will be working really hard at this for film festivals, for anything that we can use to be able to have this film complete and get our story out there.
Maria, let's meet your team. We have not just you here today. We have Holly and Jan and Daisha and Peyton. Let's go around the room. Let's go ahead and start with you, Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly Lorget, and I'm thrilled to be part of this A Life Worth Living documentary with my friend Maria Segura.
Yeah.
We've worked on many projects together in front of the camera and behind the camera.
Nice.
And this brings joy to my heart as well. I'm a mom
Holly,
of 2 children.
Holly, what attracted you to this particular project?
Maria's heart.
Yeah.
Anything she does is just amazing and quality and valuable. And we worked together on a project in November, and she was due to give birth at that time, and just the glow on her face and in her heart
Yeah.
And I just love working on projects with her. Anything she's involved with, I'm always ready to jump in.
Now, independent films, people wear many hats. Holly, what are the many hats that you're wearing on this particular project?
Just helping with backstage, or not backstage, the film crew,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's lifting equipment or holding a boom mic or writing something down or holding the baby.
Yeah, right on.
Whatever she wants, I'll do it.
Right on. Going around the room, Jan Bruce, talk about your involvement in the project.
Well, when Maria contacted me and asked me to be a part of it, I was so thrilled
Yes,
because I know she does fabulous work,
she really does.
and I felt it was really important for the world to know that babies are not to be thrown away.
Absolutely. I relate to that a lot. My every parent says, "Oh, I just want my child to be healthy." But what if your child is not? And my brother was born underweight, my oldest brother, and he was put in under 24-hour observation because he was underweight. And he was put in an unoxygenated incubator. By the time they found him, he was purple, and he had lost the brain damage occurring from that. He had lost the gross motor function of heel to toe walking, bipedal locomotion, something that you actually don't think about. It's a natural process that you know, but his body just doesn't have that function. So he shuffled his feet, and the doctors said he would be, back then the phrase was retarded, that he would be institutionalized his whole life. He'd never speak or walk. And my mom took the next 14 years, and he entered his freshman year on time with his class. No braces, though he walked with braces for many years. And he became a person that was a fabulous contributor to the society. And he has a master's in physical education. So I really, no matter what your child starts out at, your involvement in making that child something special will make that child special, no matter what condition that child is in. And I can tell you from experience, he is my hero. And so I applaud you for going through that fear and going to the love, because that's what it's all about. My mom they should be making a documentary on her. And I'm glad that you are. Let's go around the room. Dacia Smith, what's your involvement with the project?
Hi, so I will be assistant directing this.
Awesome.
I'm a producer with the Reno Film Collective, and a friend of mine reached out and said that Maria was looking for help with this. And
Yes.
once I heard the message, I just wanted to help her spread it as much as possible. I think it is a really important thing for other mothers to have somebody else there letting them know that it's okay no matter what.
Very good. Awesome. Peyton, what are you doing with the project?
So I am the one that's in charge of filming it. So
Right on.
everything from the marketing and photography to actually on events, getting interviews. And yeah, it's been an honor of a lifetime.
That's great.
Earlier this month, I finished wrapping a full feature film, and I've done a lot of film projects, but this one in particular, you see how impactful it is. The people around her, like such as Carly at the fashion show, you really see with this how important it is and how big of an impact this can have. And that's what's great with filmmaking and storytelling in general, is these perspectives that you don't often hear about and these lessons you learn from it. I think it's priceless what we're doing here.
Very well said. We're speaking about A Life Worth Living, a new documentary by Maria Segura. Maria, you featured a model with Down syndrome on the runway for the Reno Fashion Show recently, which happened July 13th. Will she be part of the film, and can you tell us more about her?
Yes, Carly will be part of this film. It's the first time ever to walk the Reno Fashion Show, model with Down syndrome. And she is an artist. She loves makeup. She loves fashion shows. She's a very talented young woman, and I'm really happy to have her as part of this documentary.
Excellent. Talk a little bit more about the cast and who else is participating in the feature.
There is another individual. His name is Kyrie. He's 21 years old. He is a gentleman also with Down syndrome, a very smart individual, and there's a little bit more of the story. I have to tell you a little bit later, but
Yeah.
yes, he will be part of this as well.
You have your Kickstarter campaign going on. What is the goal for that? Let's remind people about that and how they can
Yes.
participate, because we want them to donate.
Yes, we do. Anything will help. The neat thing about the Kickstarter campaign is that if you want a reward, go and look for your rewards, and you can choose one. Go to www.alifeworthlivingdocumentary.com. You scroll down the page, it'll take you to the link where you can watch the video and also take you to the place where you can go ahead and make your pledge. Anything will help. We have about like 6 days left to do this.
Excellent, excellent. One more time on how people can link up to your Kickstarter. I want them to give generously and often.
Yes, again, that link is www.alifeworthlivingdocumentary.com. It will take you to the link, and you can watch the video there and make your pledge there, and anything will help.
The film is A Life Worth Living. The director is Maria Segura. Thank you so much. Thank you all for the cast. Next up, I see the G-Man out there.